both gonna pop. I just figured that's some Gemini shit. What the hell?
There you are. I like that. Hey, Isaiah, thank you for the donation. And he has a good question, man. He says, how was Paul Giamatti's portrayal of Jerry Heller?
He did a good job, man. He did a great job. If you knew Jerry, if anybody ever seen Harlem Nights, if you've seen Harlem Nights,
favorite movie.
Jerry Heller was a combination of the cop and the gangster. Phil Cantone.
Okay, gotcha.
Phil Cantone, the cop that was giving him a hard time about, he wanted a piece of their business, and the gangster that broke homeboy's hand in the piano. Okay, Bugsy.
Gotcha.
Okay, he was a combination of both of them, and he reminded. Sometimes he would do some Al Pacino shit. Lonzo, what are you doing? Get over here. Let me holler at you for a minute. Come on, talk to me. And then you see him again. He's like, "Hey, Lonzo, how you doing, man? Everything good with you?" He would do shit like that. He'd be Al Pacino one day and fucking Jack Nicholson the next. But no bullshit. And what's his name? What's his face? Yeah, Paul Giamatti did a great job.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite character in the whole scene, especially when he went off on the song that Ice Cube did, where he's dissing everybody. That was great, dude. And he was like, "I'm gonna sue them for calling me Jewish and stuff like that."
Right. Yeah. That it was
great.
It
great.
Is, man. What can you say, Doc? You can't run away from
the
truth.
You know what? We've talked about this, Lonzo. Crypto Charles says, Lonzo, did you really get down on Bounty Hunter BJ? He claims you and the world-class Wreckin' Crew jumped him at your club. BJ's talked about it. You've talked about it. Break it down again, Lonzo.
You know what?
It's a great story.
I heard that story. I watched. My nephew sent it to me the other day again. I just watched it for the hell of it. It's some truth to that, but it's a whole lot of seasoning on that steak, baby. It's a whole lot of sauce on that steak. Okay. BJ was actually fighting Dre's uncle. Dre has an uncle that was one of my bodyguards or one of my guards at Dudo. I mean, at Eve After Dark, and that's who he was fighting. He never really fought Dre. Dre didn't. I don't recall Dre having any fights at Eve After Dark. The bounty hunters will come to the Eve After Dark, and if they never got along with the village was across the street from Eve After Dark. They all went to Centennial. The bounty hunters are from Watts, and the village is from right around Eve After Dark. And the village kind of claimed Eve After Dark as their own because most of them been there since day one. And whoever had the most people tried to run over the ones who came with the least amount of people. And I tried my best to try and mitigate that situation. And he talks about how he mobbed up in the club. He didn't mob up in the club. Basically what it was, because the kind of cat that I am, one of the girls from my Nicholson Gardens was a backup cashier. And she told me, hey, he is a shot caller from the neighborhood. Let him in and he'll keep these guys intact. And that's what I did. It wasn't like he just mobbed up in the club and just, no. I get it, nigga, you a couple of different dudes I did the same thing with. If you was a shot caller or somebody from your hood that has some clout in your hood to keep down bullshit, because I don't know everybody, okay? I figure if my security guards can avoid interaction and you can handle it for us, and $5, come on, man. But, the seasoning got on there, the sauce and stirred up and shit, and I had to hire extra security guards. I had to have extra security because the Eve was cracking. It wasn't for him. It was for the Eve, the safety of the Eve. I had a man dog team at the Eve at one time. I hired a guy with a German Shepherd to patrol the parking lot, to keep niggas out the parking lot. And this dog was the most mutt-looking dog you ever want to see. The homeboy gave the dog the command, and the motherfucker turned into Ren 1010. Okay? I'm not bullshitting. I've done, dude, there's not much I did not do to keep that corner safe. Okay? I cut deals with all kind of cats. I had brothers from my brother, my younger brother, one I just spoke about, before he decided to go on the smoking team. He was the only cat that I knew that had respect and love in Crips and the Bloods. So when the shotguns from Gardena came over to Eve After Dark, my brother could go talk to the Pyru boys and get them a pass. Okay. So we had shotguns, we had paybacks, we had all kind of we had Pyru, because Pyru and paybacks didn't really meet up much except at the skating ring back in the day. Okay. And because I went to Gardena and my brother went to Gardena, but the club was in Pyru territory, we had relationships. My brother had more than I did. He went to Gardena more than I did. He hung out more than I did. I only went to Gardena for 1 year, but I knew cats. So I would invite him to the club. And we would get we would have different sets come through. And for the most part, we kept a lid on that shit through our relationships. And having relationships like that. If we talk to Barefoot Pookie, the shotguns, or I forgot, no, I don't want to say which one, but with whoever Barefoot Pookie was with, he kept his fellows in line. Okay, I talked to my boy Yellow Ice from Pyru. Yellow Ice would keep the folks in Pyru out and keep them cool. Okay, if there was a problem, Yellow Ice, man, could you handle this for me? Hey man, chill out. This is my homeboy spot. We ain't doing it over here. And this was the kind of shit that we had, the kind of deals we had to make to survive. It wasn't nobody getting punked. It was motherfuckers just trying to keep the doors open and get everybody to come home. But I tell you one thing it did do, okay? Everybody went fucking home, okay? Everybody went home. And that's the part that people don't give me credit for. No matter, we in what, between Watts, Compton, LA, Gardena, Carson, the Eve After Dark is in the unincorporated area, and everybody came to that joint. And based on them kind of relationships and cutting these kind of deals, I let this cat in from this hood. He keep his boys in line. Let this guy come in. And Dre's uncle and BJ had a beef at Centennial. They both about the same size, both about 5'9", and they both was wide as a motherfucker. Okay, and they was the ones that really got into it. At some point in time, that shit spread. It got big. Don't get me wrong. It did get big. Okay. But it wasn't, it was, I hear the story and I remember the story, but like I said before, that motherfucker well seasoned. Okay. It's barbecue, got a lot of sauce on that motherfucker. Got a lot of sauce on it. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Okay. Yeah. He ain't lying, but some of this shit is extra. Okay. A little extra on there.